It's Artist Week 3, and this is my recap. Today is June 16, 2025, and I feel good about this week, actually. Um, Overall, it was it was quite productive, and I feel good about what was produced. I painted for the first time since I think October of last year. This isn't the painting, but um, I painted, and it did not turn out the way I wanted it to, but I'm still proud of myself for finishing it and actually giving it to my dad, because it was just Father's Day, and I told myself that whatever I made, whatever came out of this process, was going to be his gift. So, so that was that. Um, yeah, some raw vulnerability and creative forces being pushed out there. Um, yeah. So let's see. I did all my artist. I did my artist date. I went to the Cardiff Miller exhibit in. Uh, I do this so much that like my words just. I'm so not reliant on my language. A lot of the time, I just hope that somebody's gonna catch my vibe and just catch what I'm gonna say. Um, but I went to the art warehouse is what it's called. It's over in Enderby, and it was phenomenal. I haven't seen any art warehouses or art exhibits like that before. Um, the the content, the atmosphere was distilled. Felt really raw and pretty grimy. Like, I loved the nightmarish features that it had, and it was really great to see the other side of the art world, because I know sometimes we just focus on like, oh, like whatever, like cartoons and just like things that remind us of our inner child, but then we got to remember that our inner child also has her own nightmares. They're getting they're getting the full intense experience of our bodies with a connection to something higher that we have to explain away as we get older. Or at least we feel like we have to, because it's hard to explain to kids what the heck is going on. Anyways, um, yeah, so Artist Date was an absolute success. I really enjoyed my time there, and I ended up picking up the childhood food that that was asked to be purchased during this week. I couldn't really think of what I wanted to get, because I have Pocky pretty regularly. Well, not regularly, but like it's not like I still had some in the house, so I had one on like day one, I think. Pancit, spaghetti, Pocky, like the lychee cubes, like the jelly ones. But then while I was on my artist date, I went to this place called Red Apple. It's like a convenience store plus clothing store. It's kind of like an everything store except for like fresh produce, and maybe kind of like a co-op maybe. Um, but I went there, and well, I went by as I was walking to Subway because I had a gift card. Um, and I thought about Hubba Bubba, so I got myself a pack of Hubba Bubba, and so I've been chewing on that for the last couple of days, and it's been really nice to just sit and chew on a piece of gum, just because I've been staying away from a lot of those things for a really long time, just because like, oh, it's bad for your teeth, there's no nutrients in it, but it's just fun, and I'm glad that I'm coming back around to that type of mindset. Um, yeah. So one of the first exercises was this free association. Detective work is what it's called. And Yeah, so I'm gonna do it again because I have all of them written out here, but I want to see what comes up again. My favorite childhood toy was Barbies, or like my stuffed animals. Probably more so Barbies though, just because you can like decorate or like dress them up, put them in different hairstyles and everything. I also used to make them clothes. I used to take like my old pairs of underwear and stuff that I'd grown out of, and stuff that you don't really donate, and I would just cut them up and sew different little outfits. I usually couldn't get them out of it afterwards because I would just like make them to size, but it was really fun to do. I remember I used to do that when I first started learning how to sew. My favorite childhood game was Sorry. Huh. Yeah, like one like board games like Sorry, Monopoly. Monopoly I used to play with my cousins a lot. Shout out Perm. But that's not what I thought of at first when yeah, at first I was thinking like make believe, but now that I'm actually talking about it, I really did love board games. So board games and then also make believe. The best movie I ever saw when I was a kid was mm, see, I can remember my answer from my previous go at this, which was Remember the Titans. It's with Denzel Washington, and he's the coach of a football team. I think it's an underdog story. Anyways, I remember really, really loving that movie when I was a kid, and it moved me. I don't remember why though, but I remember that I really enjoyed it. I told myself after this, I've been having a little bit of trouble getting everything out and just talking the way that I want to, so I changed, and then I told myself afterwards I would like watch a show and I'd get myself a cookie. So maybe I'll do that. Next, I don't do it much, but I enjoy running. If I could lighten up a little bit, I'd let myself act or join a drama club just for the sake of it. If it weren't too late, I'd learn how to dance or just join a dance class because I really do enjoy dancing, but I get very self conscious inside of my body. My favorite musical instrument is piano, and I love the drums and the guitar. Nothing that I actually know how to play, but I love the way they sound. Love it. The amount of money. Excuse me. The amount of money I spend treating myself on entertainment each month is, when I checked my online app, banking app, it was around 65, 70, but that's definitely been cut down since I've stopped working. So, I don't know, a lot of my entertainment really is outside now. And I don't pay for my own Netflix, which is blessed right now. I'm not paying for any subscriptions. And I have like I have two shows that are just on here and they're both already all paid for. So, let's see. Oh yeah. If I weren't so stingy with my artist, I'd buy her better paints and a pottery wheel or a kiln. Maybe both. When it was COVID times, I wanted to make a, a kiln out of a garbage can, but I quickly talked myself out of it. Um, I don't know if I'll ever go back to it either, but it's something to think about. Taking time out for myself is frivolous. This is what I wrote down on my first go of these, and I still maintain that. I still think even doing this feels like terrible for some reason, even though I have nothing better to do, but it's putting myself out there in a way that in a way that I actually really want to do. It's just so out of my comfort zone. I'm afraid that if I start dreaming, I won't stop, and I'll do exactly what I'm doing again. Um, yeah, I'm very impulsive, but I have a way of making things work. So, and I know that the universe also provides. So, as long as as long as God's got me, I'm happy. I know that it's going to work out, especially if my intentions are pure. Oh, Chloe, don't do this. Okay, keep going. If I had had a perfect childhood, I'd have grown up to be. My mind still just first goes to athlete. I think it's because it's something that I really, really wanted when I was a kid, but there was always this huge sense of fear within moving my body that I never gave my full 100%, or even 80. 80 was still really scary for me, and I don't really know why. I don't know why that was. Maybe it is just that I really wasn't all that athletic and I was just more artsy, but then I just tried so hard to fit into the mold of being athletic, or being more like team sport oriented, because I really enjoy hiking, I really enjoy running, and like volleyball is really the main team sport that I can really find myself enjoying. Um, yeah, because I really didn't put myself out there very much, so now would be the time. Now is the time to really do that again, or do anything. Um, if it didn't sound so crazy, I'd write or make a confessional memoir. Yeah, maybe I should. Honestly, this entire process is a confessional memoir. So, my parents think artists are. I spoke to my mom about this yesterday, and she was telling me that she thinks artists are incredible, that they're brilliant, that they can take what's inside of their minds and what's inside of their hearts and produce something out of it. Um, yeah, I don't know what my dad thinks though. My God thinks artists are gifts. What makes me feel weird about this recovery is that I feel like I don't deserve it. I feel that because I have made mistakes and hurt people in the past, that I myself am not allowed to express myself in a pure form. My most cheer me up music is maybe jazz. I really love jazz. Yeah. I can't really explain more to that because I know that that's very varied, but I love hearing the saxophone. I think it's certain instruments that really draw me in to a piece, because I can't really think of a type of music that does that for me exactly. Yeah. I also don't really listen to music in order to cheer me up. I will pick music that fits what I'm feeling, or I will do something else in order to really express or find a way out of the mood that I'm in. My favorite way to dress is this kind of like baggy, bold. This is not bold, this is like very calm. But I like baggy stuff, I like bold stuff, and I like to be comfortable. And that's it. This week, the tasks were pretty extensive actually. We had to describe our childhood room. Um, yeah, so I can do that really quick. My childhood room was always really messy. My bed took up the majority of the space. It was still just a twin bed. Um, and I had a desk. Before, when I was like a child, like elementary school age, I had two dressers. I had a brown one, like a taller one, and a smaller one that was white. And there were always clothes everywhere. I had a bunch of stuffed animals. Um, yeah, it was always really messy. Like there was always something going on, and I was always doing something. I was always like reorganizing or rearranging the room to fit how I was feeling, or just like if I wanted to change, I would do it. And the room always felt really nice after I did. Yeah. Uh, what's your favorite thing about your room now? My favorite thing about my room now is that every piece that's inside of it, like every piece of decoration, is something special to me. Like I have a world map on my on one of my walls that has it has an old route that I wanted to take across the world, like where I'd want to go. And then a year and a not even a year ago, but like a year ago I was in Thailand. But last year I had decided 2 years either way. Shit, I don't know. I don't know. In February I had decided that I wanted to yeah, February last year. 2 years ago. No, last doesn't really matter, but either way, that was the route that I took when I went on a journey across the world. Um, and on top of that, I have a banner of prayer flags that I picked up when I was in Nepal. Um, and then on the other side, it was a shelf that I put up by myself. And the shelf was actually from my grandmother's house. And that has some glasses, some just special things to me. Special things that actually really feel like me. Describe 5 traits you like in yourself as a child. My 5 traits. I was very creative when I was younger. I was funny when I wanted to be, or like when I felt like speaking. Um, I was kind, and I don't know how many that is, but I'm just gonna say one more. And I was very caring. I was a very caring child. List 5 childhood accomplishments. Um, I don't know. I don't really want to do that one because I feel like it's going to take a long time to think about. Um, make a list of friends who nurture you. Yeah, list 3. Which of their traits particularly serve you well? Um, Carrie, May, and Riley. Carrie is the most creative person I know. She is the all of my friends, especially Carrie and May, they have the sturdiest foundation. That yes, they can get swayed every now and then, but what they have been through and what they have transmuted into absolute gold is stunning. It's stunning. And Riley is a creative, and he's really lovely. Yeah, that's really it. Um, inner compass. Oh yeah, take an hour to follow your inner compass by doing an artist brain activity and listening to what bubbles up. This was what I did for the painting. I decided to take the paints that I had and try to create something. And I did. I can't really remember anything that really came up during it. I think it was just a lot of doubts and a lot of impatience that showed itself, where I would see what I was doing and I'd be like, you know what, no, this is already bad. But I hadn't even finished it yet, so I needed to try and finish it in order to let what wanted to come out. And it changed, I think, 3 or 4 times. I tried mainly to just use primary colors, and then I ended up mixing a couple things for brown for a couple different parts of the piece, but that's about it. Um, 5 people I admire. Oh yeah, this one was interesting, and this one was it took a lot of time for me. It piqued my interest because I couldn't understand it for a while. Um, yeah. I'm just going to answer this little bit. What traits do you find in these people that you can look for in your friends? And what traits do these people have that you can cultivate further in yourself? Um, I noticed that within my list of like people that I admire and people that I secretly admire, that it was usually aspects of integrity and being true to yourself no matter what. Um, that would be something that I can further cultivate within. And what traits do you find in these people that you can look for in your friends? This one was a lot of spiritual aspects. So I'm myself looking for more integrity and more boundaries, or just like allowing myself to let things go and let them stay there, let them stay gone. Because just because things aren't the way that I had expected them to be or wanted them to be doesn't mean that it's not for a reason. I don't need to recreate what has happened in my life in order to get the last word or any of that stuff. I can just respect what's been said and then leave it at that. Yeah. Um did I experience any synchronicity this week? Yes. And I remember I talked about it yesterday with somebody, but I cannot remember what it is now. Yeah. And that's really it. I think, oh, there it is. There's a synchronicity. The next week, recovering a sense of integrity. Okay. There it is. Okay. Um, yeah, that's it for this week. Thank you for that. Yeah, I think that's all. I will see you next week. And I'm gonna go and get myself a cookie.